I'm Madison Wade. We continue to track breaking news of a state trooper who died in the line of duty early this morning. It happened on I-5 southbound just before 3 o'clock this morning, north of 116th Street Northeast. Right now, we are waiting for a news conference from the Washington State Patrol. This is a live look as that conference gets ready to be underway. This forced state troopers to close a portion of I-5 for about 9 hours. And again, we know that trooper has died from his injuries today. The Snohomish County Sheriff's Office said that the suspect was traveling southbound on I-5 at a high rate of speed when it collided with a Washington State Patrol trooper's car and vehicle that was parked along the shoulder. The Sheriff's Office said the suspect's vehicle was then hit by a van. The driver of that van was then transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The passengers were not injured. We do know right now the suspect is a 32-year-old Linwood man. He was arrested for vehicular homicide. The Snohomish County Sheriff's Office is continuing to investigate this. We're waiting right now for a news conference to get underway to learn more details today about this tragic death of a Washington State Patrol trooper who was killed in the line of duty. This is all happening at District 7 headquarters right now. And again, once that news conference starts, we'll go right to it. Sounds like it was starting right now, so let's listen in.
I'm Captain Dale Glover with the Washington State Patrol Government Media Relations Team. We appreciate your patience as we've been working through a tough morning, through a difficult situation for the family, the friends, and colleagues of our fallen trooper. In a few moments, you will hear from Washington State Patrol Chief John R. Batiste. At the end of his remarks, you'll be able to ask a few questions. Please know, any questions regarding the investigation of this incident will be need to be towards Snohomish County Sheriff's Office after any questions today. I'd like to introduce Chief John R. Batiste.
Good afternoon, everyone. As the captain mentioned, thanks for being here. It's a solemn day for me and the members of the Washington State Patrol. I have with me also Snohomish County Sheriff Susie Johnson. I want to invite her to come up here with me as well. So, as you know, today is my sad duty to confirm the loss of our 33rd trooper in the history of the Washington State Patrol. Trooper Christopher M. Gad, badge number 927, was killed early this morning when he was fatally struck by a speeding vehicle on Interstate 5, approximately 1 mile north of where we stand today. Chris was 27 years old and had served with the Washington State Patrol for 2.5 years. I've been with his family this morning, his wife Cameron, his brother Gillian, and his father David, who's also a current member of the Washington State Patrol, serving as a trooper in District 2, Bellevue. Chris also has a sister who is a state trooper in Texas with the Texas Department of Public Safety. I spoke with Colonel McGraw of Texas DPS to make sure that they take very good care of her until she can get up here and be with us and the rest of the family. Chris leaves behind also a beautiful young daughter, 2 years old, Kaylin. I've conveyed to the family our profound sorrow for what they and we are suffering from. Chris's passing is a devastating loss to his family, who knows all too well about the risk of public safety service. As I mentioned, 3 members of their family proudly serves within this profession. And they accept the risk associated with the job that we're all hired to do in protecting and serving others. That was one of the things that his wonderful wife wanted me to know, that as a family, they accepted the risk that comes along in serving in this profession. I'm deeply moved by that, deeply moved by that. You know that the entire Washington State Patrol family mourns with them. And I must say, I've heard from countless members of the profession and members of the community throughout the state and beyond the borders of our state, expressing their condolence to Chris's family and to the men and women of this great organization. That is deeply appreciated, deeply appreciated. As you can imagine, we're very, very proud of Chris. We're proud of his father, who's also a trooper, and his sister, as I mentioned, Jacqueline, who is a trooper in Texas. We will speak to the investigators' investigation preliminary findings in a moment. But first, let me tell you a little bit about a fine young man named Chris Gad. He was born on September 28, 1996 in Pasco, Washington. He proudly graduated from Kent Lake High School in Kent, Washington. He attended Green River Community College and Comer Community College, where he earned his emergency medical technician certification. As I mentioned, he's married to his wonderful wife, Cameron. They wedded on January 11th, 2020, and they welcomed their beautiful daughter, Kaylin, on January 31st of 2022. This promising young man began working with the Washington State Patrol on September 16th, 2021 as a cadet assigned to Grandview, Washington. On April 18th, 2022, Chris was transferred to the training division to be a member of the 116th Trooper Basic Training Class. In fact, several of the members of his class work with him in this district. He graduated with his class on November 16th, 2022, and on December 7th of that year, he was assigned here under Captain Jason Knott's leadership in Marysville. While at the Academy, Trooper Gad received the top academic award that recognizes the outstanding efforts of a cadet who attains the highest grade point average, compiled in more than 30 examinations and quizzes necessary for his and his classmates' graduation. Sadly for us, Trooper Gad is the 33rd member of the Washington State Patrol to die in the line of duty in the agency's 103 years of service to the people of this great state. We will honor Chris, even in sorrow, but as an agency, we will go on. And the people of this great state needs to know that we will continue to serve them with humility. Because he served, it's our duty to continue to serve, and that's our duty to honor him and never forget his ultimate sacrifice. We'll never forget Trooper Christopher Gad, badge number 927 of the Washington State Patrol. I want to say to the chiefs and sheriffs all over the state who are reaching out to me, thank you. All too often, we go through this. Today shows the seriousness of the work done by the troopers and other law enforcement agencies in this state and around the country. When they put their badge on and they pledge to serve, they also know that this day could possibly arrive. So I can't express my love and appreciation for such a fine young man who was truly dedicated. While out working this morning, he was struck and killed, protecting and serving, looking for folks driving under the influence and otherwise. I'm indebted forever for that service to these people of the great state of Washington. So with that, I thank you, and we'll open it up for questions that you may have.
How are you hoping that the community can help support the department and also his family at this time? How do you want him to be remembered? How can people show their support?
Well, truly, he's a hero that was protecting them, and their outreach that they've already extended is profound and deeply appreciated. And for the family to know that deeply touches them. And so we'll have a memorial service that we'll plan, and we invite as many of them as they want to show up. That, in turn, will mean a lot to the family and to us in this profession. Community support is invaluable. It's the spirit that lifts people in this profession to come to work every day, to know that they're appreciated and that they're respected. So their outpouring of appreciation and respect for the profession, but in particular in this instance, for Chris and his family, can't be overstated.
And just about 2 weeks ago, I know a trooper was shot down in Kent.
Yes.
Has this been a hard couple of weeks for you guys?
It's been a terrible couple of weeks. But as I mentioned, we'll continue to come to work. We'll continue to serve as we've done for 103 years, very honorably and professionally. Yes.
And, for months, it even feels like years, we've been having the conversation with you about reckless driving on our interstates and our roads, and you've been stressing the danger you all are putting yourselves in. I know you touched on it a little bit earlier, but just speak to the problems that we're seeing and highlight just the risks that you're going through every day being out there.
Well, we've seen an awful lot of aggressiveness behind the wheel, particularly over the course of the last 3 or 4 years. I've seen behavior that is unaccustomed to being seen, particularly since the pandemic. We need people to slow down, buckle up, put their phones down, and for goodness sake, don't drive under the influence. It exposes them, and it exposes people like Chris, who lost his life because of someone's driving behavior. So in order for us to protect them, they have to help us do so. And you do that by driving responsibly. Because these troopers, these deputies, police officers around the state, as you mentioned, they're putting themselves in harm's way in service to others, people that they have never met and probably never will. That's how they give of themselves. Knowing that tragedy can strike at any time, but they get up every day with that sense of pride and duty, and they put themselves out there in harm's way. The public can't ask any more of that. I can't ask any more of them of that. I love them and I appreciate them, and we want the public to love and appreciate them just as much as I do.
And when people see the visuals of the procession and you all leading out from the scene tonight on the news, what do you want them to think about as they see the lights and the support and the ceremony behind that?
I want them to think about the fact that a man, a good man, a father, a good husband, an outstanding son, gave his life in service to the people of the great state of Washington. That's something I hope they'll always remember. All these folks behind me, back in front, the sheriff standing beside me, they're dedicating their hearts and soul to protect and serve the people of this great state. That's what I want them to remember. And again, I'll repeat myself. We can't do it to the best of our abilities without their help. We need them to drive safely and help us protect them. Protect themselves first and foremost. You protect yourself by putting on your seatbelt, obeying the speed limit, and you don't get behind the wheel after consuming, be it intoxicants and or drugs, illegal or prescription. It exposes all of us to what happened to Chris. Thank you for that question. Anything else? Gad, G-A-D-D, Christopher, common spelling, C-H-I-S-T-O-R-P-H-E-R, yeah. But he went by Chris.
And he was working out of Marysville.
That's correct. He's been here since his assignment. Good trooper. An even better human being. I can't thank you enough for being here, to help us share with the public. Thank you. I'll turn it back over to the captain.
Thank you, Chief. As we wrap up today, I'd like to thank the Sheriff of Snohomish County for joining us. Their partnership is unwavering. We have a great relationship with them. We thank them. As you heard today, Trooper Gad is a great man, great trooper, great family, and we thank him for his service. We're grateful for it. Thank you to our troopers of the Washington State Patrol for putting on the uniform every day, and we really appreciate the effort they're putting out every single day. as we wrap up, but thank you for coming, your patience. These investigations take time. And we really appreciate you showing up today, showing that you care. We appreciate it. Thank you.
A good trooper, but an even better man. The direct quote in the last remarks from our chief, John Batiste, with the Washington State Patrol following a news conference just now happening live in Marysville following the death of a trooper. We are learning more about that trooper who died in the line of duty today. 27-year-old Trooper Gad. He was a father. He also was a husband, and he also comes from a family in law enforcement. We're learning tonight that his dad is a Washington State Patrol officer in the Bellevue district. We also learned that Trooper Gad just started his patrol in Marysville for District 7 only less than 2 years ago. He graduated in 2022, started in December of 2022 in that same district where he lost his life this morning. We're also learning today that he leaves behind a wife, a toddler, and his sister is a trooper in Texas. A family of law enforcement, a family that puts service before many other things in their own lives tonight. And we're learning that that trooper has sadly died. We are still waiting to learn more about the details that led up to this tragic crash that happened today early this morning, around 3 this morning. Once we learn those details, we'll be sure to let you know right here on King 5, also on king5.com. We are hearing so many reactions tonight. We want to show you a few of those reactions coming in on Twitter. In a post, Governor Jay Inslee said that it is an incredibly sad day for the Washington State Patrol and Washington State. A motorist struck and killed a trooper early this morning. As the investigation continues, we await more information. Trudy and I send our deepest condolences to the trooper's family and loved ones. Many law enforcement agencies across the state now are posting these photos of the Washington State Patrol badge shrouded tonight. Many law enforcement agencies are sharing their condolences for the fallen officer. We're learning is 27-year-old Trooper Gad, again leaving behind a wife and a toddler, also a family in law enforcement. His father is with the Washington State Patrol in Bellevue. His sister is a patrol officer in the state of Texas. We will bring you much more information on this tragedy out of Snohomish County tonight, right here on King 5, also on Kong throughout the day. And stay tuned for more breaking news as this story develops on king5.com.